other than that may be related to the greater sins that Nara previously mentioned, or Cornelius. I forget which one of those two idiots brought it up.
Mm.
Ow.
Are any of these battles going to end with me not having to wash copious amounts of my own blood out of my clothing?
Probably not.
I think we were already doing this at the end of last session, but I think once who was it, Reeves, someone who got Mika out of off the ground, so start trying to tend everyone's bits.
Reese is at 8 HP after Tomas brought him back to consciousness.
Excuse you.
No, it's
Or Lana, sorry. I forgot! You ever forget?
No, Kevin never forgets. It's one of his major flaws.
I just want credit given where credit is due.
Alright. So, as you guys are patching each other up and waiting for the minivan, you feel a presence looking you over.
You again.
Real quick, is this the music you wanted for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, it's good enough.
It's like,
Yeah,
sure.
why not?
Whatevs.
So you are the ones to stop them after all. Then I will uphold my end of the deal. If you have a question for me, I shall answer it to the best of my ability.
I already asked a question.
You're gonna have to give us a moment. And Lana's gonna like kind of motion for everybody to come closer, so they can have a little powwow.
Who is this?
It's the guy.
Who?
Oh, that's right. You ran ahead. You didn't see him. He's. I think he's one of the gods. He said he was the god of lost knowledge.
Isn't that Cornelius?
No,
No.
that's the other one.
He doesn't know who
Anyway,
he is,
half his
and
hat
he
stolen.
said he'd answer a question.
How many hats of knowledge could there be?
That's not a good question to ask him.
I wasn't saying that it was gonna be our question. Good thing I didn't open up immediately and ask him, "Who are you?" and then squander it. Come on, give me some credit.
I asked
no.
that question last time. I'm going to step out of the discussion of the question to ask.
Oh, that would have been fucking great,
Reese.
Reeves.
Okay, so what are we gonna ask him?
We should ask him to fuck off.
No.
That's not a question. Tomas, you need to form it. You need to make it in the form of a question.
Will you please fuck off?
Okay, there we go.
Can you ask him if he knows?
Option 1.
How about option 2? Do you know what the fuck that was we just dealt with?
You know what? That's fair. Let's go with that.
I actually really like that question.
Cool. All in
Well,
favor?
maybe- Yeah,
Cool.
Works for me.
Well, Miko, it was your question. Go ahead and fire.
Make sure you ask it real good, like.
Aye.
Yes.
He looks in your direction, Mika.
So do you know what the fuck that was that we just dealt with?
God, I love you.
Yes. To put it most simply, you are familiar with the 7 heroes, yes?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
That is one of their remnants. Forgotten and corrupted. Like so many others, but with far more power at hand than your standard civilian. Quite a troublesome thing, isn't it?
It's not a cakewalk. But the 7 heroes aren't all dead.
Is this one of those sort of open conversation questions where we can add additional sort of related questions, or do we just get the one?
That depends on how the topic goes. And that is the most curious revelation.
I'm sorry. What was that about a curious revelation? I didn't quite catch it.
In
In response to what Mika said.
The
Oh,
fact that
okay.
not all the heroes are dead.
Oh, okay.
Because Amove's still alive.
Yeah.
At least last I checked on her.
If you're
That is a
surprised,
mystery to me.
so there are 7 of these things.
Yes. The 7 avatars of the greater sin.
Maybe one of them stole Amove's hat.
Where did they come from?
As I said, things were quite chaotic after the war. Once the first and the strongest of them, the Avatar of Pride, the one you knew as the Demon Host, was struck down. The other 6 sought to consolidate their power. Found suitable batteries and hosts. It seems they were locked away for a while, but your robed friends were all too eager to let them back out for their own means.
Our robe friends,
The ones doing the rituals, I think.
they were releasing the sins and not the demons?
What are the sins but greater demons possessing mortal hosts, so that their ethereal forms might remain here for a bit longer?
Hmm. So those demons took Kos and the remnants of the 7, 6, 5 heroes in one person?
It seems, based on what your friend has said, that 6 of them reside in former heroes. Where the last resides in is beyond me, it seems, at the moment.
But wait. So he's like the hamster wheel is turning as he's trying to consolidate information. It's like, okay, so the betrayer of the group, wasn't he taken care of? And if Amove isn't dead,
Then
isn't that just 5 plus 1 mystery person, and there's one more? Well, one less. Wait.
uh,
Hey, Reese. Reese, I need help with math.
What?
What was the leader Pride guy even actually taken care of? Like, he died, but doesn't mean his soul couldn't have gotten stolen too.
They are surprisingly resilient things. It wouldn't surprise me if the big one found a new host.
wonder if if there's anything to do with that Eber asshole, or is this a whole nother fucking boulder to push up the hill?
That, unfortunately, exceeds beyond the extent of a single question.
I wasn't really asking you anyway.
Reeves is still like messing with his fingers and counting on them.
What are you trying to count?
Seven heroes, 7 sins. But there's not 7 heroes, so we got a couple mystery sins out there.
Or
Could
one.
just be other powerful people.
Just one. Actually, that gives me something to think about.
Hell, at this rate, maybe they're even one of our former companions that is still missing.
Oh, that was tragic.
I.
Miko will look back at the dude again. How do you fit into all this?
He cocks his head at that for a second and thinks. Once again, that exceeds beyond a question, but how about a question for a question?
Alright.
What do you think of this land, of Brescia?
It sucks.
It's seen better days.
I'm with Tomas.
It's a land. Been to a couple different ones at this point. Looks a little different, but it's still a land.
It was a lot better before the war. Tell you that much.
So you only think of it in the physical sense.
No, I think it spiritually sucks too.
Well, I don't know about that, but in terms of experiencing it, that's kind of all I have to go on.
Well, an answer is an answer. I believe your question was how I fit into all of this.
Aye.
For lack of a better term, at the moment I am simply an observer. I have an idea on how things will turn out from here, but there's so many possible ways for it to end. The destination I see. I'm curious which route it takes.
Got a couple of friends who'd probably love to have a chat with you about the destination of how this thing will turn out.
I'm sure they would. Unfortunately, I have very little interest in sharing that destination with others. Especially considering the company you keep. They're too boring for my taste. Too predictable. And on that note, I suppose it will only be so long before they arrive, and I plan to be long gone before they do. We'll see if we have another meeting like this. If this was a stroke of luck, or... if you are... important on that path. But that yet remains to be seen. Good day, adventurers. And as you blink again, the man is gone.
I maintain we should have asked him to fuck off.
You can't ask him to fuck off any quicker than he did.
Yeah.
Reese is gonna find a clean spot of ground and sit down and cast prestidigitation on himself and start fixing his burnt hair with his spell.
Lana's gonna kind of limp her way over to this tree stump and have a sit down.
Moss is very subtly, not at all subtle, gonna sit himself between Reese and Lana and just stare at Lana for a long while.
What?
Yeah?
Go ahead and ask. Come on, I
What was
know
that
it's
about,
gonna...
Lana?
It's a
Fuck was
really...
what about?
You don't want to know.
So that... Remember how they said it was like the greater sin thingy that we just fought?
Yeah?
You tried to body snatch me. It succeeded for a little bit.
And
Oh?
say something the real Lana would know.
Yeah, no, I'm with Reeves on this one.
The heck do you want me to say?
Something that
Reese,
the real
you
Lana
have
would
to
know.
know.
Where are you from?
Fuck, Kevin needs to actually remember the name of the town.
I know where. I
Reese
know
is
where you're
gonna wave Reeves off and say, "What did I put in your journal?"
A couple things. You put that picture of me in there.
It's Lana.
I
If
want my
it weren't,
I want my answer questioned.
if
I want
it
my
were not
question.
me, I'm from Westway, Reeves.
You know, honestly, Reeves, I didn't know the answer to that one.
Lana,
Look, it, Mika.
was that your master?
No,
Because you yelled a lot about that sword.
I did. Well, physically, I don't actually know. But my master was in there somewhere, even if he wasn't in control anymore. That thing we fought had nothing to do with Master. It had nothing to do with the body that it took. It was just using them. There's no other connection as far as I can tell.
Alright.
I still kind of want to know what I'd missed when I was out. Seems like some shit happened.
He just pats Lana on the shoulder and goes back to bandaging.
If we come
Lana, do you know what you almost just did?
yes.
Okay, then you can talk to Reese about it.
What is there to say? I don't have anything to apologize for. It wasn't me.
Well, he wants to know.
Reese, for a moment, the greater sin had control of my body, and it may have attempted to stab you.
I see. He goes back to doing his hair.
Happy
See?
now?
See, simple. Not really, but simple.
Look, if we come across any more of those, just from what I've seen from the heroes and from what happened in there, I don't have a whole lot of faith that none of you will go through the same thing. So just so you know what you're getting into.
Is this one of those universe aphorisms?
No, listen, they're connected to the heroes, and so are we. And there's a lot. We're in all this. We're a part of this.
You know, I think a better question we should have asked him was why. Why that exactly?
I don't know, but listen. If any of you go through that, just be ready to fight and believe in yourself. Believe in the strength and the ideals that brought you this far, and I think you'll win. Just like I did.
Well, in that case, it's probably a good thing I can't impale anyone on my violin bow.
I mean, you could try. You could if you tried hard enough.
Yeah, not with that attitude.
It would probably break first.
I
Probably.
could show you how if you want.
No! The violin bow is a very, very delicate part of an instrument. What is wrong with you?
We could get you a spare that you could practice with.
No.
Just get a violin bow that has like a fucking dagger like mounted onto it.
Honestly,
A bowinet.
A bowinet.
That hurt me inside, that one.
So you said that wasn't your master.
It's complicated.
Okay.
Got
But he was moving around like, I don't know, like how I expect you would be able to move.
Yeah, it's really complicated.
We've got
As
time.
physically, I think yes, it was. But like mentally, like emotionally, spiritually, no. My master was not the one stabbing us. It was just using him, among other things.
Okay.
I,
Go
I
ahead,
would
son.
like, I would like to take a moment and just point out that everybody thought I was fucking crazy when I said the demon shit wasn't over. Just throwing that out there.
Great, Tomas. Nobody in this group has said that to you.
I have.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, Reese did, but Reese says a lot of things.
Wow.
Thanks, Lana.
Way to throw your friend under the cart there.
I mean, it's true.
So, we're going to be dealing with the other heroes, potentially.
And each of them connected to one of us.
And we all had that dream. And Mobe was fine a week ago. And Cornelius will find me a fucking way back into Cindergate so I can make sure she's still fine. As for the rest of them, I don't know.
Well, going under the assumption that Amove is still alive, that means one of these sins is someone else.
I've been thinking about that. Do we know when exactly that Reiner guy betrayed the rest of the heroes?
Mm,
That would be
Wasn't
kind
it? Wasn't it like at the sort of final climactic moment, he just sort of turned around and just betrayed everyone?
Yeah, after they had slain the strongest of those sins, right?
And then he turned around and betrayed him. Just like
I
you
don't
turned around and nearly stabbed Reese, so maybe it took him then.
exactly. Maybe Pride still has that body.
Well,
Well,
That
if
accounts.
Pride still has that body, that counts for that guy. However, there's still a seventh person that needs to account for Manove.
Hmm.
could be a random cultist, could be. I don't know. Who knows who it could be at this point? If those
Well,
guys were trying to bring them all back, and maybe they just offered up a whole bunch of them to it.
well, we keep fighting those sins, and I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not really important right now.
Yeah, so we're gonna end up finding them one way or the other. Because fucking Blondie's going out looking for him too. Even if his Silver Boys were no match for him. So,
Well, good news. We took care of the thing that the Silver Boys couldn't take care of, which means I still don't want to fight them, but we should have a decent shot at them.
Hmm.
I'd rather not have to deal with any of them.
But we could.
We could.
We're
And
going
that's the-
to have
and
to
that's the
eventually.
They're just normal people, aren't they?
They're-
Well, at least they
Not
were
anymore.
once.
We're just. There's people under that armor. I'm with
Not
Mika.
anymore.
I
Yeah,
agree with the
right.
not anymore, but it just means I'd rather not have to deal with them. I don't know who I'd find under there at this point.
Mm.
I still want to. What? We got one of these big. What did Nara say on that map? One more of these big glowy fuckers down in the Elflands?
Major
That we know of.
disruptions.
No, it's not that important. Throw that out there.
Little off topic, I guess, but I'm sorry for making you guys worry before. I had a lot on my mind, and I might have taken it out a little bit on you guys. I'm sorry. None of you deserved that. You least of all, Reese.
Mika's patting Lana on the shoulder again. This whole thing's a pile of shit. If you stayed sunny the whole time, then... Well, you'd still probably be you, but...
Someone's got to keep their heads up.
How long is it gonna take them to get here? Because if it's gonna take them a while, I'm gonna take a fucking nap. Because I was kinda dead for a while, and I'd like to not have to think about that again.
Probably around the same amount of time it took them last time. I had the wager.
Yeah, it took about an hour last time.
I have-
Lost if you guys want to sleep.
I have an incredible amount to meditate on myself.
Is there anything else you guys want to do here before the minivan pulls up? To take you home from soccer practice?
Reeves will like to consider the difficult terrain and how he can make a giant snare eventually to just liquefy the ground.
Reeves does that.
Reeves does that.
Sure would be great if I could just have a pocket marsh.
Or turn something into a marsh. A pocket marsh maker.
Can you make a pocket mountain?
No. That's unreasonable.
Lana will sit there with Dawnblade in her lap, and she will meditate, and she will have that little mental side story that I wrote in the Sweet Dreams channel.
And she does.
We.
Alright. Anything else?
Nope.
Alright. So, about an hour and a half rolls by, and eventually Cornelius heads out to greet you guys and lead you back towards the observatory. So let us move you back.
I forget, did we... This is all in one trip we met this one dude, so we haven't told Cornelius about, or Nara about him yet, have we?
I think we have.
Alright,
we
but
have.
the... Okay.
Because we met him in the where we first encountered the knights.
That's right. I was thinking this is the same expedition. Okay.
Nope.
Alright. So if you guys want to head up to meet Nara, we can do that now. Otherwise, you are free to move her out the observatory once you're back.
Yeah, Mika's gonna charge up the stairs first thing toward, yelling for Cornelius.
Cornelius is with you. He escorted you back.
Oh. I had my headphones up. I'm eating.
That is fair.
Sorry.
Reese is also heading upstairs.
Lana's just gonna follow behind and head upstairs.
I think everyone's gonna go upstairs.
Okie dokie. Good to see you all back safe and sound.
Something like that. Ran into the other know nothing, know everything god again. So, big bad demons were once the heroes. Can you get me back to Amove, please?
I can get back in touch with her and see if she's willing to open the door from her side, but we're still quite a ways out from having anywhere stable nearby Cindergate.
Need to make sure she
If
is
it
in
does
one
calm
piece.
your nerves, I received a couple reports from her just a few hours ago. She's been keeping in regular communication since your arrival here.
Good. Okay. Okay.
I know with things going on the way they are, you might be a bit worried, but unlike me, she has some modicum of ability to defend herself.
I'm just still amazed that he sounds so arrogant and yet so self-deprecating at the same time.
It's a gift, isn't it?
I mean,
Yeah,
at least he can admit he's useless.
It's a time-honed art.
the Greenwoods are good at that.
Reese is gonna wink at Cornelius.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Who are those two fucks? And he's gonna point at the king and the guy behind him.
Are you serious, Tomas?
What?
Even I remember who they are, Tomas. Where were you?
That's a very good question. Was I with you at the time?
Yes,
You-
because we went to meet him.
The man in the back is just like arms crossed, glaring at you.
Tomas, that's the king.
Oh shit.
So that does beg other questions. For example, how are you two safe?
What? Were you asking that to the king and
Yeah.
his knight?
Yes. It's Reeves will continue. That sort of got swept under the rug, considering that our friend came with you all in that condition.
The gruff man in the back speaks up. It seems you and your companion who brought us back here were keen on some information we weren't aware of. Like how Eber was planning a fucking coup. We're lucky he arrived when he did. Between me, him, and about half a dozen of the men loyal to me, we were able to get the three of us out. And just barely. Needless to say, we won't be being able to head back to the capital for some time. So we're doing our best to focus our efforts here to assist in whatever all of this is. And as he quiets down, the king speaks up. Indeed. You all were of great assistance to my kingdom when I needed you, and while I do not presume that Brescia is your only concern, nor the highest of your concerns, I will do what I can to support you. And to that end, I would like to reintroduce you to the former master of the observatory. And as you will likely know him from moving forward, the spy master of Brescia. Osik, could you tell them what we know so far?
Wait, what?
Did you turn the bird into the spy master?
Not turn into.
Oh, good lord.
As I said before, I would really appreciate it if you asked before taking things. You're far more obvious than you think you are.
Fuck you.
He just bows in response to that.
Let's go flip him the bird.
Ha!
Haha.
Get it?
I'm so done.
Alright, let's transition back to the map. While you were away, it looks like some of the nearby interference has pulled back a bit, and we've gotten a bit more insight into the surrounding lands. As it stands, we can see 4 of the smaller disturbances, and 1 in the immediate vicinity. Though, and they zoom the focus of the map out a little bit further.
Fuck.
Oh dang.
It looks like with the first one falling, we have a bit more insight into at least the general location of all the other major disturbances, as far as we're aware.
Whoa, wait a fucking
1, 2, 3,
second.
4,
That one.
5.
That's...
Yes.
That's home.
Yes, that is Cindergate. Considering what is going on there and the mass of souls currently wandering the streets, it's not surprising it's kicking up that large of a signature. Whether that is the only problem or if there's something deeper is what Amove is looking into as safely as she can.
I'm only counting 5 on this map.
Yes.
I mean, before there were only 2.
Yeah, but we're still missing one.
It might reveal itself in time, Lana.
I will say there is a lot of disturbance kicked up across the map. It's possible it could be hiding in some of the deeper pockets.
Oh, I didn't see the 5th one on the island off to the left.
Yeah.
Not zoomed out.
Considering what the records that you went through shown, we know at the very least that what I'm assuming you think is the 7th disturbance is highly mobile. Wherever it is, we're not entirely sure yet, but we're keeping an eye out for it, considering its previous involvements. But just so you're aware of where things currently stand, we've identified the rough location of 5 other disturbances. From what we can see, Cornelius, could you run them down the list? Of course. Down here, and he gestures to the Elven lands, we have the mountain city of Kailtasi. It was overrun during the war, but I don't believe I need to go too into details here, so I will keep it brief. We don't know too much about what's going on here. Phelan has been keeping an eye on things, but being the friendly bloke that he is, he threatened to cut my tongue out if I kept asking him questions, so I don't imagine we'll be getting much direct information from him, unless the situation becomes dire enough for him to pull us in.
Charmer.
Yes,
There's
indeed.
Not much there, anyways.
How wonderfully optimistic.
Not optimistic, knowledgeable.
Oh wait, is that where Tomas is?
Mm-hmm.
He's just slowly gonna turn his head and look at Tomas.
Out of character, yeah. He would not tell you guys that in character.
Yeah.
I see Cornelius talking about the little red or the big purple in the Elven lands.
Big purple.
Little red.
Oh, okay.
Oh, big purples. Okay.
Yep, he gestured to the big purple between Elven and lands.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
He pings up to this one next. As Mika so accurately surmised, this is Cindergate, my and her home city. And any other time I would have gladly taken you there. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a mess at the moment. While our city is currently demon-free, at least to our knowledge, the local population should be considered equally threatening to your health if directly engaged, so I'd recommend delaying our activities here until Amove has a better grasp on how to resolve the situation. In slightly better news, unless she is forced to make a drastic retreat, we should have a way to get you there quickly and safely once time to engage is at hand. She does have access to my workshop, and as long as she keeps the door open on her end, we can enter through both ways.
If nothing else, the clans may still defend if one of those big things tries to get in after her.
Yes, from the reports we've had from Amove, they don't seem too friendly on anything coming in, demon or otherwise, so for better or worse, they are keeping the place clean. As for locations, I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, have not heard of yet. This is Snidel,
Which one? Oh, no, okay, there we
the
go.
the leftmost one. It's an elven colony off the west coast of the Elven Lands, oddly enough, and appears to have been abandoned during the incursion so that the population could return to the safety of their homeland. While it is remote and defensible enough, construction of the perimeter walls and limited supplies did not bode well for extended conflicts, if any arose. From what I've been able to gather, this location should still be abandoned, at least as far for several more months, so the identity of our mystery squatters is thus far unknown. From there, if we look up here, Haftavones is a joint colony that was established by all of the major nations on this continent and is a neutral colony maintained for diplomatic discussions between the nations outside of any one territory's control. Osek speaks up at this. Unfortunately, we have confirmation that Eber's forces have been replacing the loyalist Bressian forces on the island, so whenever we do head up that way, we will need to be cautious, and at least have an eye on that surrounding area. And lastly, while it doesn't appear to be over any permanent settlement, the last one we have here appears to be smack in the middle of the hunting grounds, which some of you may be aware is the home of the Kirabi, and unfortunately for us is largely uninhabitable to the outside due to the Arctic conditions that permeate most of the year. There aren't any other major population centers around the marker, so it's either in or around temporary Kirali territory somewhere, but it doesn't seem to be wandering at the moment like the one you just encountered was.
Get the idea that, kind of looking over Alana a bit, that the one we just dealt with, as you say, was looking for others to deal with itself, so it was definitely moving around. I don't know about the others. If what Mr. No Name had to say about it meant anything, then I don't know. We might be able to get some guesses as to what we're wandering into if we look into who he says they are. If that made any sense. Been hit in the head a couple times too many today.
Didn't quite follow, but considering what we wandered into, while we did go in a little unprepared, I do not want to send Cedar and his folks to go scout.
I agree with that
Those-
wholeheartedly.
None of the big ones.
Those people are not prepared to deal with that.
It's probably for the best. Considering your reports from what happened at the Silver Knight encampment, I imagine very few outside of yourselves and perhaps some of my colleagues would be able to safely investigate those areas. Unfortunately, we are at a bare minimum for those resources at the moment, so for the time being, we'll have to keep going in with educated guesses at best.
Regardless what we find there, they're all going to get dealt with.
So,
That sounds like something I would say. I like the optimism.
Just statement of fact. And he's just going to give a big gulp and grin.
so do we have, like, I'm not sure if I missed something here or not, but Eber is sending his silver boys out, and they're presumably looking for these same big dots we are, yeah? However it is they track them.
Yes, regardless of how they want to handle the situation. Excuse me. It seems Ethos and Eber still want to handle the threat to the mortal races, though their methods are a bit different than any I would ever employ.
Okay, so these OOC, did we call them avatars already?
That's what the guy called them.
That's
Okay.
what the mystery man called them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so these avatars, we're after them because you lot want us to join up with our spirit companion people.
That was
Is
the mother's intention, yes, to have you reconnect with them so we can ferry their souls back to the afterlife.
okay. So that was her intention, and is Eber's is just to annihilate them?
We're not sure what they plan on doing regarding the souls. As far as the immediate threats they plan on dealing with them, how they plan on collecting the souls after the fact is unknown.
They find anything useful at the last encampment that we cleaned out before? They had made it. They had done some work to it, going after the big guy. Wonder, maybe is there anything in the hell? What the hell they might be thinking they're gonna do with it?
We looked over all the supplies you all brought back into the observatory. It looks like they kept their rations and equipment, but any sort of missives or orders they had were pretty thoroughly burned. We couldn't find any of them. Assuming they were even given physical orders.
Just find it and kill it. Although it tore through them like this paper.
Yes, it seems that even in their enhanced state, at the moment at least, the Silver Knights aren't up to the challenge of dealing with one of the avatars directly.
So I've got a thought. If Eber knows this, how much of a chance do you think he's gonna go himself to deal with it?
If he can track one of them down, potentially, he's nothing else if not rash.
You just said that there's an encampment of silver boys up north on the island, yeah?
Yes, they're probably trying to locate whatever the source is there. How long it takes them to find it is completely unknown. Unlike the one you just dealt with, none of the others appear to be moving. They could be using all sorts of means to disguise their presence and location.
We need to figure out what to do.
I don't suppose they have means of how we're able to oversee the situation for themselves, do they?
No, luckily. I took a tally, and well, the former headmaster of necromancy took a lot from me. Luckily, he didn't get too far into any divination magics. Whatever he has is pretty bare bones, not the kind of thing they would need to pinpoint the exact location of something like this.
Or to be aware of others, such as the one that's now missing on our map because we caught it.
What was that question?
Let me rephrase. So they wouldn't be able to know that we already dealt with one of these things.
It'll probably take them some time, but eventually they'll be aware of it.
Well, every day we buy is a good day.
Indeed. Unfortunately, we don't have a terrible amount of time to rest. Should probably take at least a week to recover, and then we'll probably want to start and keep moving. Things are stable for the time being, but who knows how long that'll last for.
Question: did we already send Cedar and the troop to go investigate Kenton?
Yes, Cedar and the others are spending 2 actions to investigate Kenton. You still have Avi if you want to send her either on a shopping run or on a scouting trip.
Mm-mm.
Or on a talisman crafting run.
Okay.
Well, I've already had my fill of rubbing in on decisions, so I'll just let you guys figure out where we want to go next. I've got enough to think about anyway.
Question. We
What's
only
up?
know. We only know about the other disturbances because we dealt with the other one. So
Yes.
so all that means is they've sort of always been there. We can just now see them.
They've been there at least as long as we've been able to detect the other ones. How long they've been awake for is up for debate, but I imagine not long. These are the types of things where if they've been awake for months or years, we would have been hearing about it.
Fair.
So we sent them. They went after Kenton. The
Chris,
other
you're
day?
kind of cutting out a little bit.
Dang it! Sorry. Uh, we had sent them out to the troop out to Kenton already.
Yeah, you sent two people to
watching.
investigate what was going on with Kenton because he flickered from red to green and has stayed on green.
Ah, okay, that's why. I was missing my notes. Okay.
Yep.
Well, depending on what's either and the others find, we may want to consider maybe dipping down the Elven lands. Who can say how long it's been there? But if Kenton turns out to have been a missed opportunity for us, then we might want to clean house around here first.
Yes. Well, we'll see. They're going to be out for a few days gathering the information we need. It seems like some of our other friends have been busy, though, and she glances up towards the king and his men. Nodding at that, Osek turns to you. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my place on this. Yes. We've been reaching out to some of our local contacts in the areas. We did not expect things to go down the way they did, but we've been prepared for attempted coups for some time. We have fallback measures in place to make sure that we are appropriately kept informed about the affairs of the state. And considering that we are now here with you, what information we have is at your disposal. Before we go too deep into that, though, he pulls into his robes and retrieves a series of parchments from at his waistline, and produces a small flame in his hand and burns up the contracts. Given that the owner of the observatory has reclaimed the facility and is now outside of Bressian control, we have decided to nullify the Gios's on you and yours. Especially considering that our host has confirmed the contracts of this strength will provide little means of protecting the secrets here should one of our primary adversaries seek to gain that information from you.
Well, we weren't really planning on divulging information anyway, but I appreciate the gesture.
Yeah, our lives depend on keeping this place a secret.
Yes. Well, it seems our best bet is not to get caught at this point rather than relying on contracts.
Now that I can get behind.
Indeed.
Alright, as for what we have discovered thus far, he pulls out a couple of reports from his satchel. Starting south here in Haffa, we were able to get in contact with several of our elven allies and learned that the only populated area in this region is this small elven village here. They're an isolated community known to provide accommodations to the slayers and sentries patrolling the region, but attempts to contact them have been met with silence as of late.
Oh.
We're not sure what is exactly going on there, as Unfortunately, the elven sentries are stretched a bit thin at the moment. This northeasternmost location in Brescia is of some cause for concern. It lines up exactly with the last known location of a small Brescian village previously known as Nipton. While not widely published, it was the first Brescian location destroyed during the onset of the incursion, and was unidentifiable from the surrounding battle-scarred landscape by the time the fighting had ended. Despite these facts, our contacts have reported that the village is back at that location in the same state it was seen in prior to its destruction.
Oh,
Like they resettled, or
Like the city was never destroyed.
oh, that's weird.
that's
Indeed.
quite unnerving.
Alright, it's a little odd.
Pinging up north. In the Dwarven lands, we have limited resources, considering the crownless kings have been unresponsive since the war. But monitoring traffic, we have concluded something unusual is going on. Traffic is flowing north, but never back south, save for the occasional Silver Order caravan to Chinny to resupply. We can't say if the border is closed for those attempting to leave the Dwarven lands or if something more nefarious is afoot. But considering that the only party we've seen traveling from that direction, it is more likely the latter.
So wait, you're saying people are going north through there, but only silvers come south?
Correct.
To Chinny, which has also got a dot.
Correct. Speaking of Chinny, it appears that it has become one of the two main training hubs in western Brescia since Eber's deployment to the region. We haven't been able to get in contact with either of the lords around there, though. We haven't been able to get in contact with either of the lords of the region through secured channels, so we have limited visibility into the greater events going on. But the number of Silver Order recruits coming out of the city has been climbing faster than visible training regiments could feasibly support.
This is Chinny.
Yes.
Chinny's not that far away from Millstone.
It's not.
And if Kenton's gone not far from Kenton either, and if Kenton's gone quiet. Wasn't out of character. I thought wasn't one of the dwarven, like there's a dwarven ambassador when we met the king, or I thought there was a okay. He's just saying he hadn't heard from the dwarves in a while, but then I thought I remembered the ambassador being there, so.
No, the Dwarven ambassador is a Brescian citizen, or at least was. He appears to have been. From our contacts' reports, he appears to be allied with Eber at the moment. As for dwarves from the Dwarven holds, we haven't heard of any of their leadership since the war began.
Ah.
Reeves, you also remember from the information that was written to you by Lynn that the Crownless Kings were murdered.
And the Crownless Kings are the
Dwarven Lords.
Okay, well, at that, Reeves will say, you're not likely to hear from them.
I see. That is unfortunate.
A contact of mine, she confirmed that they've been murdered.
That would certainly explain things.
Go back and look at that. I'd have sworn the ambassador said he had gotten back in touch with them when we first.
And that appears to have been a ruse.
Well, I received confirmation of that right before things went chest up in
Varu.
In Varu. So who knows how long they've been dead.
Leo.
That wasn't Leo.
Loki.
Oh, it was Loki. Okay.
Do you have a cat named Julio?
Loki.
Why did Kevin say Julio?
I said Loki.
He said Leo.
Oh,
I
I
said
heard
Leo.
I heard Julio.
He So did I. I was very confused for a moment.
Oh, no, I meant Leo. My bad.
We're trying to get in touch with anybody else we can, but that's all the information we have currently available to us. At the very least, think on it.
Well, no matter where we go, there's a problem.
I vote we clear out the area that has the least first. It makes sense. And it's closer.
In your time in Tomas Reese, did you hear any rumors or anything about the
We
orange dot?
weren't exactly looking for rumors while we were there, just in case, it attracted attention.
Matt, would Tomas know anything about Nhafa?
You've
Like in
probably heard of
general?
it at the very least, just because that's a pretty popular
Yeah.
Slayer pass-through zone, but you haven't been there, at least in a long time.
Yeah. Tomas was just thought, he's like, I can't tell you anything about Nhafa. I can tell you everything you want to know about Kiltasi, at least what it was like 3 years ago or whatever.
Would Reese have been through there in his travels?
In
Since he
Hoffa?
wandered? Yeah.
No, it's
Probably
like a
not.
dead-end
That's
middle of nowhere town.
okay. Yeah. I just wanted to check.
Yep.
That being said, I don't mind if we decide to go literally anywhere else. Just gonna throw that out there.
Let's just see what Cedar and the troop comes back with. If it seems that we're kind of on a time crunch in terms of information being relevant, we may as well just dip south.
Alright. So, you guys have some time to think. Do you guys want to send AV out anywhere since it's still early in the week?
I vote item shopping.
Item shopping, yes.
Some of our item reserves are low.
Alright.
I have no opinions.
Alright. So, you guys bow out of that meeting to think on what you want to do next and catch up with Avi. You find her downstairs after having checked in on Theoden, who still appears to be in stable health and is still recovering. But as you guys approach, she lights up with a grin and gives you a wave. Hey guys, how you holding up?
Reese is gonna do a half jog over to Avi and give her a hug.
Oh, that bad, huh?
It's not
Yeah.
it's been a day.
It's been a rough one.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't be out there to help you guys, but I'm glad you all make it back.
How are you holding up?
Mostly fine. Still feel a little numb here and there, but at the very least I feel like I can go out and still do a little bit here and there.
Well, don't push yourself too hard for our sakes. You just got back on your feet.
Nah, I'll be fine. See, better than rotting away in this place doing nothing.
I'm glad you're feeling better, at least.
Yep, she just lights up at that. Alright. I was about to go check on the supplies. Do you guys need anything? I might be having to make a run out soon.
I think potions would be good.
Potions. Anything against big fuck off demons, but potions would be good.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the world is just about all out of demon slaying arrows, but I can get you potions.
Really?
Yeah, they tended to go pretty fast during the war.
That's fine, I can make shit for that.
And maybe anything fun that you find along the way.
I'll see what I can get.
Speaking of fun, I do recall there being certain types of snares that I don't really want to recreate, but I can give you like a basic schematic of something to maybe find for me.
Yeah, I can make a couple stops and see if anybody has some recipes written up, some formula.
Awesome, thank you.
If we find any poison recipes, I've got gold.
All right, I'll keep an eye out. Okay. So, how many potions did you guys want?
All of them.
All right, then I need all the money.
I need to replace my moderate.
All right, a moderate is 50 gold.
That's fine.
Would anybody else like to buy potions?
What's
Yes.
the level below a moderate?
That's a lesser. Those are 12 gold, and those are 2d8 plus 5.
And a moderate is 3d8 plus
10.
6? 10.
I still have one on me because Reeves, was it you who got me up?
I give you a lesser.
Oh, okay.
Now, is it possible to get 2 lessers?
Yep.
Okay.
I-
that'd be
I would- I would like one lesser.
Alrighty. Just mark
I'll
off 12
take
gold.
a moderate.
Mika will pay for
Alright.
the one for Reeves.
Oh, okay.
Alright. That's 50 gold from you, Wolf.
Since he was nice enough to use his on her.
Yeah.
See, that's unity right there.
No, that's self preservation.
You know, you pay it forward, man.
Yeah, and she's just paying her medical bill.
No.
Yeah. Oh god,
Exactly.
Yeah, there's,
we don't
There's
have
no health
universal
insurance here.
healthcare in Valencia.
Yeah.
no. Not in Evers, Brescia. Gonna build a wall and make the demons pay for it.
No, it got
Oh,
too real.
God.
Abort the bit. Abort the bit.
Alright. Any other potions?
How much for those cheetah elixirs?
Cheetah elixir.
I thought you said Cheeto.
Yes, give me Cheeto elixirs.
Cheeto burrito.
A lesser
Mountain.
cheetah elixir is 3 gold, and that's 5 bonus feet for a minute. A moderate is 25 gold, and that's plus 10 feet for 10 minutes.
So 5 feet for 1 minute versus
10 feet for 10 minutes.
let's see.
And I'm not sure who has it, but somebody in your group has a haste potion.
I think I'm good for now.
Alright.
I think I had one and gave it to somebody.
OOC, someone has a kit to upgrade one of my items that they picked up.
Yeah, does anybody have magical crafting supplies
Mika.
that I gave them?
That would be me.
Wait, why
really?
does Wolf have it?
Wolf found him in the dungeon.
Oh.
The moment when Mesa just confuses all of us.
See, I've got the
It
resilient.
was me! Damn!
I got
Reese
the.
making grabby hands.
Wolf gladly gives them to you.
Oh, thanks.
Hi, Mr. Needy Boy.
See, I think
Squishy face.
I think I put the rune already on Reese's stuff, but I was gonna be
What rune?
the resilient rune.
Oh.
I have notes that I had
plus
a.
1 to saves.
Oh, yes, that was last week.
Yeah, I was just making sure I didn't have something else that I was forgetting about.
Can Reese do that
Oh.
himself, or does he need someone else to do that?
If you have magical crafting, you can add the rune to yourself, to the armor yourself.
No, I meant the magical supplies to upgrade
Oh
the
yeah,
thing.
no. If you have magical crafting, you can upgrade it yourself.
Gonna do that.
Oh yeah, we did have
Magical arts and crafts.
Actually, would AV be able to acquire runes during this sort of thing?
Yeah, if you give her enough money.
Hmm.
She does not have the capital to buy them on her own.
Right. How
What
much
are
for
you
those?
looking
How much for those shadow runes?
A base shadow rune is 55 gold.
55 gold for a shadow rune.
Be
that
aware
gives
if you already have one rune on your armor, you cannot fit a second on quite yet.
Okay. I mean, I just have the upgrade for the
Okay,
armor.
yeah, you can fit a shadow on there.
Oh, okay.
Are runes under equipment, Matt?
Yes, if you go to equipment and runes, property runes are the ones you're looking for.
Oh, there they are. Okay.
Also,
Mika will do any and all upgrades and smithing that can be done to get people's stuff ready.
yep. And remember, if you guys want to upgrade your armor to resilient at any point, as long as it's already +1, that just costs another 180 gold.
Oh, right.
And that gives you +1 to every save. That you do not need Navy for, that you can just spend supplies on.
That's a. Let's see here. Oh, it's right. Resilience, a fundamental rune. So yeah.
Yep.
Matt,
Yes.
for the poison recipe, do you want me to send you which one I'm looking for, and if she finds it, she does. If she doesn't, she doesn't.
Is it uncommon?
It doesn't say it is.
Then it is common. What level is it?
4.
Then just give Avy 5 gold and she will find it.
Oh shit! Seriously, it's only 5?
Yeah, formulas are cheap as shit.
Oh shit! I thought they were.
The most expensive formula is 3,500 gold, and that's for a level fucking 20 item.
How much are like level 5s and how much would a level 6 be?
A level 6 is 13 gold.
How much for the
that one? If
Go ahead.
that one's common, could I grab that one too?
Yes, if it's common, you just need to give me the money for it, and you can get it.
Okay.
How much for the striking snare?
What level snare is it?
It's a level 8 snare.
25 gold.
25 gold. Okay, I'll give you 25 gold for that. And then 55 for the shadow.
Alright.
And I can make poisons that are level 5 and under
Correct.
with my special thingy, and I don't have to like spend the money on those.
Correct. But they're only good until the end of the day.
Okay. But I could make them and then just start smearing my clothes in them and just be good,
Yeah.
right?
God. Such a fucking cryptid. Oh yeah. Whenever you guys are walking around, occasionally you'll just catch like a glimpse of light on Tomas's clothes and then get really confused because you can't see where it's coming from. Because your fucking elf is a paranoid cryptid.
Yeah.
Alright. Any other items or formulas?
Actually, what's the other snare I can get?
Let's see here.
Can Lana afford spring boots yet?
That's right. Armor. So armor can have the property and also can have a fundamental.
Yeah, fundamental runes never take up slots. They're just a progression tier.
Okay. Still taking notes. For some reason I can't remember it to save my life. I have no orders for Mika has no orders for AB, so
Alright.
she is.
I'm checking one thing real quick.
No problem.
Nope, I'm good. Never mind.
Alright. Going once. Going twice. And Avi heads out to go acquire your goods. So she'll get back about a day before you guys head out on your next mission, giving you enough time to apply anything that you need to your armor.
Alrighty.
Alright, and with that, you guys now have a week of downtime. What would you like to do?
I have a question.
Shoot.
Can Mika upgrade her damn armor to +1 over a week?
Yes.
I think I've upped everybody's but her own at this point.
Yeah, the tank should probably increase their armor.
So yeah, spend...
That way I have 2 fighters to cry about at night.
I keep getting stabbed, so... can I use some of the tower supplies towards that, or would that all be...
Yeah.
Okay. Because we each
So
have
if you
our...
want to work to take certain amounts off it, you can do so. Otherwise, you can just slap money into it.
No, she's gonna work on that, plus whoever else needs it, most of the week, so...
Alright. Give me a crafting check.
Alright.
Let me look up how your feet works.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
That's the magical crafting thing?
Inspired improvement.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Just makes it so you don't horribly fuck up when crafting anymore.
29.
Alright, so that's enough for a success.
Oh, if you fail, it helps me not fail the next day. It looks
Yeah,
like.
And critical fails are just treated as failures.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm just looking up how much you make. And Archives is going slow because it's being booty blasted by people. Alright. You are level 8 and you're expert?
On crafting, yes, have to be for magic.
Alright, for each day that you put towards it, that is 3 gold up to a maximum of 21 gold this week.
Gold. Alright. She'll spend 4 days on it.
Alright, so 12 gold.
And then she had still like 161 and a half left.
Do I have that list?
So, whoops. Alright, and the extra... the extra
so
money
six.
she'll throw the rest out, 70 out of her supplies. Or, no, scratch that, 50 out of the supplies of her
Alright.
pile, and then the remaining, let's see here, basically remaining 100 out of her own.
Gotcha.
Basically what it comes down to, I think.
Yep, as long as you take the currency out, you're good.
Yeah. Just round that up to an even number.
Alrighty. And Mika, you are finally at +1 armor.
Yay!
You're like, alright, I fucking get stabbed through here a lot, so just start reinforcing this.
That's +1 to straight plus up. Did I add that to the item bonus of the
Yeah, it
AC?
increases the item bonus by 1.
Okay. In the meantime, she's going to be doing all the medical research she can toward that dedication thing.
That is fine.
After having mentioned Cindergate, restarting all her notes from that.
Alright. So, Mika, that is your week.
Aight.
Who else has a week?
Reese does.
Alright, Reese, what's your week?
First he's gonna go and talk to Nara.
Alright. So she's going over the latest bit of information they have and trying to adjust her readings on the nearby lands when you enter. She seems to be aware of your presence, but not immediately responding to it.
Hi Nara. You busy?
Only the normal amount. What do you need?
Well, you're like the god of magic, and so I thought I might ask you a magic question.
Shoot.
So, and he's gonna gesture to the bird on his shoulder. I was wondering if I could change the shape, for certain circumstances where flying isn't ideal.
I suppose you could. Have you tried it?
No. Okay, listen. It kind of showed up out of nowhere, and I'm not extremely experienced with familiar magic.
Are you sure that's a familiar, not a bird?
Yes!
Just making sure.
It
You'd
talks.
Be surprised. That's a giveaway. Okay.
Yikes.
Nara sounds so done.
Alright, hold on. And she just kind of reaches into the air with her wood hand, and you see the end of her hand disappear into something out of sight, as if she's like cycling through a bookshelf you can't see, before she pulls her hand back out and it's holding a scroll, and she just tosses it down in your direction.
Reese will catch it.
Try to commit that to memory. It's a pretty simple ritual, a lot shorter than most of the others that you'd usually find because it's on a smaller scale, but with that and about an hour of your time, you should be able to alter your familiar's appearance as long as it's willing.
Reese kind of side-eyes his familiar. Willing.
Bird's eye eyes you.
Okay, thank you. I have another, slightly weirder question.
Sure, why not?
I love Nara.
I have, I don't know how to say this. Something weird happened and it can't be healed magically.
Just looks at you and raises her eyebrow.
Well, by any means I've tried.
And you want me to take a look?
Yeah, if you could.
Alright. Vit. Let's
Yes?
go have a chat.
Yeah!
We'll be back.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh god. Okay. So how's everybody doing?
Alright.
Pretty good.
Sleepy.
Wake up.
Shut up, Sam.
Damn.
You say the same thing to me all the time. My turn.
Wake up, drop the bombshell.
Mika's gonna patch everybody up so much better.
Yay!
I'm so excited. Tomas can just make poisons for free in the morning.
I get to
now.
kill things better. Ha 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 ha.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is what you do.
What? The funniest part is that this level, Lana didn't change that much. Next level, she's gonna start popping off a lot.
Nathan, I really hope Wolf is ready for Tomas to walk up to him, just hand him a bunch of poison in the morning, and then walk away. No explanation.
I mean, do you need an explanation? They're poisons.
Yeah.
I mean, he already did it before, so.
Yeah. He might actually get an explanation on these ones. These ones are a little different, but they don't last.
Let's see here. This is nice, peaceful music.
For now.
Uh-huh. I'm still kind of debating on my feet, but I'm not sure if I want Mika to be more blocky or more smashy.
I mean, Wolf's kind of the smashy one right now.
Yeah.
Don't know if you want to also be smashy or have your own niche.
I don't know. I guess it's very
Kevin!
What's up? What's up? What's up, Nathan?
When are you gonna play more Blitz with me?
Oh, dude! Like, anytime, really. I don't know.
Sorry,
When
Chris, go ahead.
You're good. I wasn't.
I meant to ask Kevin that like 30 minutes ago. Or not 30 minutes ago. Or, well, like earlier today, and I completely forgot.
Yeah. No, Blitz was a good time.
Did they just add medic?
Yeah, I think so. At least Matt pointed out to me just this patch around. So.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it was added with APG.
All
So-
of the ones that they had before were like really niche archetypes
Yeah.
that were meant for like the different stories that you could play through.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that they're adding archetypes that make you better at like one of the trained skills, though. Like that's really cool.
Mhm.
Like acrobat and medic. And there's one for natural medicine too that I was eyeballing, but there's already a medic in the party, so I don't want to go too deep on that.
Is
Yeah.
Oracle and Swashbuckler new?
Yes.
Yes. What were you saying, Sophie?
Did Matt nix the? Did Matt also nix the requirement on these archetypes that say you can't take another dedication until you have two?
No, he did
No,
not. You need to go.
he did
You
not.
need to go 3 deep before you can pick another one.
That's what he
So
was telling me earlier.
He just
Mhm.
made it so that I guess the feet, well, basically the point that we had to sink into it before to get into that, he kind of backtracked it, so we're a little farther in.
So do you still have your things in Barbarian?
I still have my thing in Barbarian, just to be able to, but to get into Medic, I was basically one farther into Barbarian because he kind of retroactively backtracked the points that we had to sink into it. So I was able to do one last Barbarian feat and then put my final point into Medic and start that up, the Medic dedication.
I see.
You see what
Yeah.
we mean, man?
It took him explaining it to me like a few different ways for me to get it. It's like this was not clicking.
He also very kindly allowed me to continue to be a meme who is not trained in medicine, despite one of my archetype feats needing me to be trained in medicine.
Look, you should be able to identify shit that will harm people and not know how to administer it medicinally. All you know how to do is pour the fucking vial onto an arrow, know that it's lethal, and just huck it at someone.
Yep, I know that it's poisonous.
That is
I
fair.
know where to put it to kill you.
That is fair.
Like I don't need to be I don't need no degree in medicine to tell you that rat poison will fuck you up.
But you see, Seffi, you do.
The medical eggheads and their ivory towers.
Mika's more like the walk it off type of medic.
That is appreciated.
Slaps band-aid on, then slaps wound.
Yeah, pretty much.
This bitch holds so much healing.
I can now, instead of every hour, an hour immunity, you guys only have 10 minutes immunity to treat wounds when I do it.
Oh, dude,
That's
that's really good.
that was the skill feat that I took, was the continual recovery, so.
Oh, that's actually wild.
In the field, it still might be a little tricky to deploy, just because sometimes we need to be a bit urgent about things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically it just means that, yeah, if I gotta patch up between battles, though, I can at least, yeah, if we're not in a rush between things, I can patch people up multiple times. And with the fact that I can do multiple people at once, that helps out a lot.
Yeah.
Only applies
I
to
still-
treat wounds, though, so.
Yeah, during the bigger spelunking days where we're doing multiple encounters, I still kind of want to find times where we can do that kind of refocusing. But oh, they're back.
Hi.
Hey!
Hi.
How you feeling?
Hi,
Great.
Vic?
you sound great.
You sound great.
I'm doing good.
All right. So moving on.
Yeah. For the rest of Reese's week, he's going to keep to himself and study.
And cry.
And
do
he's
arts
gonna
and
upgrade
crafts?
his mask. Yeah, he's
Okay,
gonna upgrade his mask.
Yeah, you can just do that with the mats.
I don't need to make a check or anything.
Roll me a crafting check. You just need to pass.
Okay,
Essentially.
crafting check. I haven't done one of those in a long time, if at all.
I think
No,
you
it's
did
been
to
a
make
while.
some jewelry in the instruments
Yeah.
before.
Why?
Aww!
Hey,
What'd you roll?
A what?
hey, it's an RP session. You got that hero point.
Yeah, I'll hero point it. Why not? 31.
There you go. Your hands are a bit shaky at first, but after a while you calm
Yeah.
yourself down and kind of just lose yourself in your work for a bit. And now you have a nice fancy hat.
I do.
Jesus Christ.
And now I can free up a spell slot because now I can cast Illusory Disguise with my
Hat.
Mask of Disguise. Or
Yeah.
hat.
Hey,
Anytime
Mask,
I want
hat,
to.
whatever you want it to be.
I'd rather it be a hat. Wee!
So you have a hat disguise now. Does that mean you're the god of disguise now?
No,
I'm gonna grab
Uh,
a drink real quick, by the way.
no
That
problem.
is fair.
I'm also swapping out one of my spells.
That you are free to do.
I can only do one per week, right?
Correct.
Reese is
Alright.
also gonna test the happy little spell he got, the familiar one.
Yep.
I'm gonna turn he's gonna try, squints at Bird, to turn his familiar into a dog.
The bird's gonna squint at you the whole time, but it does become a dog at the end. The dog still squints at you.
He's getting the hairy eyeball the whole time.
We'll make it like a blue healer.
Yeah, sure. It's one of those dogs that like proximity growls.
I've given it too much power. So literally, Reese is studying alone by himself, and anytime anyone walks near him, the dog growls.
No, it's one of those. I meant in the fact that like it'll be perfectly silent, just chilling next to you. But if your hand gets within like a foot of it, it just starts growling and gets louder the closer you get.
Reese is like, why are you like this?
I'm back.
welcome
Welcome
back.
back.
Uncle.
Reese is
has
gonna
a dog
pet its
now.
head anyways.
It just growls. It doesn't stop you.
What a
That's
little
one of
shit.
those.
It's the Tomas dog.
It is! It's Tomas in familiar form!
Moss still hates it. He likes it better now because it's a dog, but like he still hates it.
So rude. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else for your week, Reese?
Nope, just gonna keep to himself the whole week and study.
All right. We got 4 people left. Do any one of those 4 people have a week?
I always go.
have-
I always go early, so I'm hanging back.
I have a quick and fast one.
Sure.
So after Avy gets back, he's gonna use that special not quick crafting, the
Free craft.
yeah, the free craft to make leaden leg, and he'll just spend the day sitting up in the top floor of the observatory, coating his clothing in it. Very
Fucking
carefully.
psycho.
He's getting his feet. He's getting his skill feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, before that, he's probably gonna go find the Birdman is Osik, right?
Yep. Oh, sec.
He's gonna go find Osik and be like, you told me to just ask next time, right?
Yes.
You got books on the elven lands and elves and shit.
Let me check. And he goes through. He has a small bookshelf, not like a terribly huge amount of books. But he does have some basic stuff, geographical information, more like encyclopedical knowledge rather than like anything fluffy.
Tomas will quietly take the book, mutter a small thank you, and he'll spend most of the rest of his time upstairs reading through it over and over again.
He'll just
He
give
just
you a
sits in his
quiet bow
corner.
as you head out.
And I'm gonna retrain that one ancestry feat.
Oh, I should note, since it's been brought up that he is the spy master, he just stopped being that like aloof, like quiet, bumbly bird, and now he's just really quiet and stoic, and you don't even hear him walking around anymore. You just see him being silent and moving through the background.
I feel like at one point Tomas turns around, sees him, and jumps and curses at him repeatedly.
That he did on purpose.
Fucking cryptid bird.
That's what you get for stealing his food.
Fine.
Alright,
But yeah, that's all he's gonna do for the week. Otherwise, he's just sitting upstairs brooding.
I mean, yeah, fair.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Edgy fuck. Wow,
Yeah,
takes one to know
edgy
one.
fuck. I learned from the best.
I learned it from watching you.
Alright, so we're halfway through the weeks. Who else has a week?
Lana has a week. She's actually on the first day when they're kind of recovering. She's going to take Dawnblade and go to try to find Wolf.
It's so weird because I was gonna come to you about something.
Oh fuck yeah!
You come to Wolf.
All right, so Lana shows up and she has like this kind of this regal kind of weirdly kind of shaped longsword in her hand. She goes,
Hey, Wolf, are you gonna be doing any, weapon practice in the next couple of days?
You know, Lana, it's actually interesting that you asked because I was actually gonna ask your help.
Oh yeah, what were you gonna ask me for?
And I don't know how Wolf would go about asking it. Wolf learned the knockdown attack, and he
Okay.
wants you to teach him how to like leg sweep someone.
all right, so yeah, Lana learns very quick that the same way she moves won't work for Wolf. But she does give you some pointers as far as like places to aim where people are generally a little bit less defensive and kind of helps with maneuvers and stuff.
And Wolf
So
is into it, listening
so-
to you.
yeah, make their knees buckle. Kick them in the legs. Try to get their back leg instead of their front leg since it's usually less stable. Yeah, she just kind of gives him some pointers to help him knock down people with his strikes.
Fuck yeah. And
And
then
in
were
ex-
you wanting him to help her?
Yeah, she just she wants him to give her some pointers in the general usage of a weapon and swinging a sword because he's kind of the stabby boy of the group.
Yep. He goes into like holding it properly, using your wrist properly so you don't fuck it up. It's an extension of you.
Wow, there's more technique to this than I thought. I thought you were just kind of swinging it like a club.
That's often the misconception, Lana. Takes a little bit more than just that, unless you want to hurt yourself.
Hmm.
Is she one-handing it or two-handing it? Or is it a
One-handing.
mix of both? Okay. And he goes in to a little. Wolf, obviously, he's a fighter, so he's used most things, but he just specializes in a greatsword. But
Mhm.
yeah, and he like goes into more how like you can get a little more leeway with the weight of a weapon in one hand, and he returns the favor of combat knowledge to you.
Oh, they train together the week. They take turns.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird, dude, that you did that. Because I was like, the knockdown thing, that'd be cool to ask Lana to teach me.
Yeah, well here we are. Lana's like, I want to learn how to use a sword. Who in the group is good at using a sword?
You came to the right person.
Mm-hmm. So that's Lana's week, and I guess Wolf's too.
Yep.
All right. And with that, we are on the boy, Reeves. Reeves, how's your week?
Reeves' week is going to start with approaching Cornelius.
Hello, young Reeves. What can I do for you?
Hi. I was wondering if you could help me with something. I need, and you're the one with, you're the one with most likely to have a timepiece on them.
That I do? What exactly do you need it for?
So, and he pulls out it's like a compacted spear of like mismatch materials. This is a quick deploy snare. The issue is I have trouble quick deploying stuff.
Yes, that does seem like it would be a problem with something that requires it.
Yes, I was wondering if you could help me help time me to make sure I'm getting these out in a reasonable amount of time.
Sure thing. How long would you need assistance for? I have a few minutes to spare now, but if you plan on going into the long hours of the night, I can have one of my more patient assistants watch over you for as long as you would like.
Well, if you just have a few minutes, that's what I would like right now. Just also get some of your pointers on maybe how to better construct these.
Got it. Well, I'm not one for building traps, but I will see what I can do for you. So he'll watch your technique for a bit and give you a couple pointers, mostly about the construction of the object, to help. He'll like catch where it snags a bit and where it could be better hinged for quicker release. But technique is not something he really has that he can assist you with here. But it does give you some ideas on how to make the process a bit more streamlined.
Okay, and all that's super helpful because as much as Reeves wants to refine his technique on it, if he can just make the device sort of operate on its own, that would go that would go far more for him. So I don't think he quite gets the he gets it quite within the space of like a full round. But I think he'll take him up. I think he'll take Cornelius up in the offer to use one of his automatons.
Yep. He'll get one of a basic automaton out to keep an eye on you, and you could just he gives you the command to have it reset the timer.
Awesome. So he will do that for a bit, make his own notes, and then go about refining his design. And he'll more or less be doing that on and off throughout the week, as well as basically doing everything to kind of justify all the retroactive feats.
Yep. I figured this week was gonna have a mixture of people training to be like, well, that was fucking awful. I better fucking up my game.
Yeah. So
Some people train, some people work on improving their devices, some people sew poison needles into their clothes. You know, it's a mixed bag.
That's normal. Leave him alone.
Alright, anything else for your week, Reeves?
let's see. I think I will have him. First, he's gonna approach Osik to see if he has any books on, religion, Leard specifically.
Unfortunately, we do not have the same volume as a normal library, so we've kept books a bit sparse here. We have a bit of topographical and encyclopedical information, but nothing on the gods.
That's fine. Thank you, though. And with that, he will spend most of his time putting progress towards his next attachment.
Alright, give me a crafting check.
So.
Just gonna casually point out that Lana's not gonna let him shake out of their group cardio together.
He's hiding.
Reeves!
Oh god!
Run!
Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god!
Over here.
Lana axe kicks through the door, like fucking The Shining.
I haven't seen him, Lana.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, he wanted to get faster, so just let him know I'll be running.
Hero point that. Okay, that's marginally better. 20.
Alright. That is level 8. How far are you in crafting?
Expert.
Alright, you can make 2 gold of progress a day.
Okay, so 14 gold. Okay, I'm at 35 towards my next attachment.
Holla.
Do you know about at how much he would need to kind of finalize a design on something?
Depends on what you're looking for. Similar to getting like runes and stuff, it might not be enough just to put like weeks into things anymore. You might need to spend materials and supplies on getting higher quality stuff to boost up how much money is in it. But if you tell me what you're looking for, I can give you a gold count after a little bit of thinking time.
Okay. Would it be too early to consider clips?
Considering that you have access to somebody who specializes in clockwork style things, that's probably not too far of a jump. So a basic clockwork like clip that just relies on pneumatic pressure.
Mm-hmm.
That could work.
Okay.
I'll start thinking on the cost of that if that's what you want to go for.
I think that's what he is kind of. I think that's what he'll go for now.
Okay. All right.
That will be his week.
All right. So you guys go throughout your weeks. About 6 days in, Avi returns and hands out the supplies that you guys paid her for, and then goes about restocking the observatory itself. And a little after her, all of Cedar's troop returns and gets ready to debrief you guys and calls you guys up to the observatory map. Well, we have good news and we have bad news. The good news is that there does not appear to be any threat at Kenton. The bad news, unfortunately, is that there doesn't seem to be much of anything at Kenton. We took a look around and asked some of the some of the less armored passerbys, and it looks like a couple people spotted 2 individuals heading out of the region a couple days back, around the time that the light flickered from red to green. One of them was identified as wearing the armor of a black legionnaire, and the other was shrouded in robes and carrying a large staff at their side. They appeared to be heading roughly northeast, but as far as their destination, nobody's really quite sure.
Northeast from Kenton.
Black armored?
They were wearing the armor of a black legionnaire.
Looks
That's
at Wolf.
like the Hell Knight people, right?
Yes.
They were at Cunt.
Ah, Wolf is very curious as to why this happened.
What was that?
No, he's just curious what they're doing there.
Yeah.
So wait, I didn't catch that. So not Kenton, not much at Kenton, but the Legionnaires were there.
It looks like at least one legionnaire was there, and they were seen heading out of the area with a cloaked, hooded figure that was carrying a staff. They were heading northeast. Nobody knows their exact destination. I mean, they haven't seen them for a few days.
Northeast. So, northeast, we know that there's...
There's this thing up here.
Then, depending upon their angle, there's also this place.
That remains unseen.
Alright, well, Kenton seems well in hand then.
Yes, we took a look around the place ourselves. It looks like there was quite a bit of fighting there. The remnants of magic in the air and whatever corpses were left behind have been pretty methodically burned to ash. We couldn't
Crispy
find
Mike.
either a demon or a mortal alike left there.
What was that?
They couldn't find the corpses of any demons or mortals left there.
Hmm. So, interesting. So, if nothing was there, then why were they...
It's quite possible there were things there, considering the amount of damage that appears to be rather recent. It's possible that they dealt with it and burned away the corpse to make sure it wouldn't be a problem moving forward.
That's fair.
I mean, if Shaw and his guys are helping us, I'm not against that. Maybe they want to go south instead and we can go somewhere else.
Well,
Well, as I've said already, I've bowed out of trying to decide where we're going. So wherever you guys go, I'll follow.
Yes, indeed. You guys do have a decision to make.
much as I don't want to have to say it, I would have to agree with Reese's earlier thought that maybe looking at some of the closer things might be where we should head. Much as I would like to go investigate Cindergate, I think that place is probably well enough, has itself well enough in hand for the moment.
Yep. With the observatory able to move around, the two closest would be Inhafa or Nipton.
I'm a bit in, I'm a bit
Nipton's northeast of Brescia, like in the Brescian.
Yeah.
I'm a
Place.
bit inclined to look at the Nipton thing a bit. Given that it vanished and suddenly is back again. And I might be able to find a couple of my people there too, if they're still around. Other than that, I don't have much of a thought on what else we could go check out.
Well, apparently Ember's forces are way to the north. So, well, at least his main attention's there.
So if we clean house down here before he comes back, might be worth it.
I'm still a bit inclined towards going into Inhafa.
I agree. I feel like it makes more sense to clear that out and head to a bigger threat.
Alright, so we have 2 votes for Inhafa. How many people wanted to go to Nipton so far? Was it Mika and...
Just
I
Mika.
think it was just Mika.
Not a strong preference though.
Tomas just doesn't.
Just doesn't.
Nope. His vote is anywhere but south.
So we have a strong general.
What are these marks?
Votes.
Oh, yeah. That's what Matt's doing.
So we got 2 votes for Inhafa, 1 vote for Nipton, and 1 vote for anything but Inhafa.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Alright, Wolf, do you have a preference between heading south to the Elflands, towards the next big purple target, towards Chinny, the recruiting center, Barrel Spine Pass, where people are going missing, or Nipton, which was supposedly reduced to rubble but is now just back and chilling?
He'll go with Inhafa.
So we currently have 3 votes for Inhafa, 1 vote for Nipton, and 1 vote for the north. We're looking like a strong majority to the south, boys.
Well, everybody else wants to go that way, so my vote's for Inhafa too. I'm going with the group. Sorry, Tomas. Tomas, why are you scowling at me?
Tomas is really scowling at everybody. Except for Mika. Mika's the only friend he likes right now.
Look, Tomas.
That's just his face.
Tomas, if you just have a really good reason for not wanting to go there, we could just go elsewhere.
Just telling you, there's nothing there.
Because
There's clearly something there. Look at the map.
There's nothing worth it.
Well, if Tomas doesn't like it, that just makes me want to go more, so...
Oh, fuck you!
And Wolf stands by his vote.
Alright. Any last minute arguments? Going once.
Mika just shrugs, doesn't really care too much.
Going twice.
Tomas is just scowling but refuses to say anything else.
And thus the majority has chosen to go to Inhafa.
The majority has chosen to bully Tomas.
I try to give him an out.
Yeah, but he's too stubborn to tell anybody why.
Uh-huh.
And thus through his arrogance he will fall.
He might be
Alright. So, you guys gather up your possessions. The observatory takes a quick little trip back down to its starting location.
Gonna change my familiar into a cat.
That is fair.
Easier to tote around.
Is it willing?
Better
And
fucking
you-
be.
And you guys are given the horses to head south, and oh god, my fucking chest.
You okay?
No, it's just I feel like I have something in my throat.
Hmm.
Okay, hold on. I just have to look something up real quick. Alright. And King Edmund tells you that he's going to password along through some of their back channels to make sure that the Elven sentries don't light you the fuck up the second you cross that border.
Would Tomas also be able to get them across? Technically?
Yeah, with a couple checks.
Oh, fun fact. I think Lana's Elven Kind shit actually gives her an advantage in this terrain. Like a small one.
Reese will help Tomas in those checks if he wants to make them.
Just the
He
clip.
doesn't. He doesn't want known he's there. He just doesn't want to be there. He'll take Edmund's shit.
Okay.
He's gonna be a quiet, petty bitch at the back of the group the entire travel.
That is
How's
fair.
How's that different than any time else?
He's a little bit less of a quiet, petty bitch.
He huffs a bit more.
Okay.
He scowls a lot more. He's glaring at everybody except for Mika.
Alright. And as you guys make your way south, it's probably about 2.5 days of travel from there. It's a bit slower than normal because of the heavily forested areas and having to go around some patches. But eventually you start making your way towards Inhafa. And in the distance, you can hear the faint sounds of fighting.
Oh.
And we will start investigating the source of that fighting next week.
Short session.
Yeah.
You know.
Get debated, all of you. Alright,
Believe it or not, I didn't plan an hour into each of the 4 locations you could have gone to.
How dare
I
you,
didn't
Matt?
want to die.
But Matt,
No. Alright, so let's clear all those drawings. So, you guys are having fun in the Elven Party Lands, and Tomas is gonna have a bad trip.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Tomas.
Fuck
What kind
you.
of What kind of acid did he get?
The kind that makes you pout.
You just said party lands and you said he was gonna have a bad trip, and I'm like, yep, that's what bad
Yeah.
acid does.
Grab the wrong mushrooms.
Sometimes even Tomas messes up his foraging.
Sometimes Tomas puts his sweater on inside out and pricks himself.
Oh no!
Sometimes Tomas gets really crabby. He's like, Reeves, you want a hug?
No.
Hey, Tomas, you remember
You ne-
when you said that I could talk to you? Well, offer goes both ways now that I'm feeling better.
Yeah, Lana, this is me we're talking about. When do I ever talk to anybody about anything ever?
I know, but now is the time to start, Tomas.
I don't know if that's true, Lana.
I think Tomas might be the only party member, like only one more stubborn about that shit than Mika is.
Tomas is
Well, he's-
spite incarnate.
Yep.
oh, Reese is also going to be very quiet during the trip.
Yeah. He's just so excited about all the fun news we shared.
Mm-hmm. So excited.
Is Reese acting any like different through the week that Lana would notice?
Quiet and distant.
Oh, okay. She'll try to kind of talk to him a little bit.
He'll tell her he's fine.
Oh.
Aw.
She'll kind of look a little guilty through the week whenever he does that and just kind of nod.
This is also Reese, so if he wants to, he can kind of make you believe it.
Yeah.
He's not trying very hard.
Okay.
Everybody's having fun. This is a happy campaign. Alright.
Best trip ever.
Just the two elves wearing like foam fingers that say Elven Lands #1.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Tomas will still count for that.
Shirts that say I went to the Elven Lands and all I got was depression.
Yeah.
Reese just picked it because it was like the closest big threat, and
Yeah.
Tomas didn't give them a good reason not to go there.
Tomas is bad at the talk thing.
Tomas's good reason is I don't want to.
Yeah, well,
How
you
is
know,
that
that's
not
not
good
a good enough
reason?
reason.
Reese is like, yeah, well, I don't want to jump into combat ever, so fuck you.
Remember what happened when we looked at the last?
Tomas, why don't you want to go there? I'm not feeling it. Okay, Tomas.
They'd be like, why don't you want to go there? None of your fucking business. I don't want to go.
That doesn't
Well, I'm
help us with
convinced.
that doesn't help us with the decision making. So we're going there.
There's Tomas
Howdy,
hissing.
baby.
When has he not been a pouty baby?
It's fair.
That's true.
Alright. So, now you guys have a rough idea of where all your fun problems are located. It's just a matter of getting there.
So much fun.
We
We're gonna have a blast.
cross-country adventure into fuckery.
Indeed.
In our in our magic tower.
In your magic teleporting castle.
Magic school bus.
Oh my god, Nara would be the most exhausted Miss Frizzle.
Yes, the Miss Frizzle who is done with this party of bullshit she's ferrying
Nar,
around.
who's just like sitting there tapping her foot and chain smoking. Get the fuck in the school bus. Aren't you supposed to put up the sign so I can cross? Get in.
If you need the sign, you don't deserve to be in the bus.
Get in or I'm leaving. And you just see the sun just looking around. Oh.
No time
That
to
nays-
explain.
That naysaying kid that always talks shit about the plausibility of the plot just like gets yeeted out the back window.
And then the sun just smites him. It just like love taps him. Alright. But yeah. Good session this week. Figured we'd have something chill and calm after like a 3-hour fuckfest of combat last week.
Yeah, you know.
Some nice chill relaxation. People got to reset all of their skills and be big and strong, and now we'll go on another adventure into the Elflands where everything is calm and quiet, despite the fact that I just said there's combat. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's just they're fighting, they're partying so hard it looks like a fight, right?
Honestly,
Yeah.
they're taking care of the problem themselves. It's fine. We don't need to be there. They've got it handled.
Mm-hmm.
We've already invested 2 days of travel in this. Might as well go check it out.
Or we could just go home.
Or no, Tomas.
You get stubborn, Reeves. I don't like this.
I learned it from you.
I learned it from watching you.
God damn it. You gotta stop doing that, really.